The slap that shook the system. Nobody walked into courtroom 3C expecting history to be made that afternoon. It was just past 4:30 p.m. at the Travis County Courthouse in Austin, Texas, and Judge Alana Merriweather was already an hour behind schedule. The air inside the courtroom was thick with impatience. Attorneys shifting in their seats, checking watches, and whispering quietly. The bailiff, barely 2 weeks out of academy training, leaned uneasily against the back wall. The defendant at the defense table twisted a crumpled tissue in her hands like it held the verdict to her fate. And then, the double doors opened. Officer Rick Halstead entered like a storm front. He didn't walk into rooms. He took possession of them, broad-shouldered and grim. His uniform still carried dust from a shift that had clearly been long and confrontational. His boots clacked sharply against the floor, echoing in the uneasy hush that followed him. Judge Merriweather looked up calmly from her notes. "Officer Halstead," she said, her voice quiet but firm. "Please take the stand." He didn't acknowledge her. No reply. Just stomped his way to the witness chair like he owned it. The hearing wasn't supposed to be contentious. It was a follow-up on a relatively straightforward drug possession case. 3 grams of methamphetamine found under the passenger seat of car. Nothing headline-worthy. Nothing new. But everyone in that room would remember it as the moment the system cracked. District Attorney Baldwin leaned forward, flipping through a dog-eared legal pad. "Officer Halstead, can you walk the court through the events of the evening of February 2nd? Halstead sat back in a chair, arms folded. "Got a call. Showed up. Suspect was standing next to her vehicle. She said she was waiting for her brother. I asked to search the vehicle. She resisted. I detained her. Found the meth under the seat. Was she violent? No. Did she give verbal consent to search the vehicle?" Halstead's jaw clenched. She didn't say no. Judge Merriweather lifted her hand. "That's not the question. Did she give verbal consent?" "No," Halstead said after a beat. "So you detained a citizen, searched her property, and arrested her without consent, without a warrant, and without visible contraband?" "I followed protocol." "Then your protocol is flawed." The air shifted in the room. Conversation stopped. Eyes focused. Halstead straightened. His hands tightened on the edge of the seat. "Your body cam footage was submitted," Baldwin continued, "but the first 4 minutes are missing." "Technical issues," Halstead said flatly. "Convenient," Judge Merriweather muttered. Halstead's eyes narrowed. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means the court takes footage gaps very seriously, especially when they cover the entire initial interaction before detainment." Halstead leaned forward. "You accusing me of lying? I'm giving you a chance to be honest before someone else has to be." And that's when it happened. He stood. No warning. No request. Just stood up, the screech of his chair slicing through the silence. "Officer Halstead," Judge Merriweather said sharply. "Sit down." He didn't. He took a step forward. "Do you know how long I've worn this badge?" he growled. She leaned back. Too long, apparently. The slap landed like a crack of thunder. His hand, open, struck her across the face. Gasps. Salt. Stillness. But she didn't fall. Didn't flinch. She dabbed the corner of her mouth with her robe sleeve. Blood. Then she looked up. "Thank you," she said. "You just proved everything I've been fighting to expose." The bailiff finally moved. "Hand behind your back." Halstead roared. "I'm a cop." But the cuffs snapped into place. By the time they walked him out, phones were out. Tweets were flying. Videos were uploading. One moment. 3 angles. Judge. Officer. Slap. Blood. Within hours, the footage was on every screen in Texas. By midnight, it had gone national. But what followed wasn't just public outrage. It was reckoning. Judge Merriweather went home quietly. She didn't seek press. She didn't ask for interviews. She opened her filing cabinet and pulled out years' worth of notes, complaints, transcripts, names. Halstead wasn't her first concern. He was just the most visible. Names like Eli Dorsey, a black teen arrested for standing in front of a 7-Eleven with earbuds in. Charges dropped. Footage missing. Or Monique Parr, a single mother who'd been slammed into a cruiser for backtalk. No report. No charges. Just trauma. Judge Merriweather compiled a list. 15 cases all tied to Halstead, all silenced. Until now, protests began within 48 hours. Not riots, not destruction, but righteous fury. Teachers, parents, veterans, people from every walk of life stood on courthouse steps holding signs that read, "You can't slap justice. Silence is complicity. Accountability has no badge." The mayor tried to deflect. The police chief held a press conference. But it was too late. The people had seen the truth, and they believed their own eyes. Inside the courthouse, Judge Merriweather filed formal motions to reopen all 15 cases. The DA dropped 3 more charges tied to Halstead that same day. The police union called her a radical. She called it justice. An independent journalist uncovered dashcam from 2021 showing Halstead shoving a woman's face into concrete. Her name? Monique Parr. The video went viral. Again, by week's end, Halstead was under house arrest. Angry, pacing, screaming into a phone. And Judge Merriweather? She called a closed-door meeting with the other judges. She laid the evidence down like a gauntlet. "We fix it now," she said, "or we're complicit." No one argued. A month later, Halstead stood before a new judge, ***, as a defendant, ***, aggravated assault, tampering, abuse of power, guilty, on all counts. When they walked him out in cuffs, he passed by Judge Merriweather, sitting silently in the gallery. He didn't look at her, but she looked at him, not with anger, not with revenge, with resolve. That night, a group of students stood on the courthouse steps holding handmade signs. One read, "Justice doesn't wear a uniform." Judge Merriweather walked past them, paused, and turned. "This isn't the end," she said. "This is the start of something better."